Now, before we begin, I want to give you a little disclaimer. This is not a how-to video. I am just a guy having fun painting a model car. Good evening, YouTube. All right, so today I've got a bit of a different project. I got these period-appropriate cars off of a dealer on Etsy, and I'm going to be cleaning them up, and I'm going to airbrush a couple of them and put them on the layout. Yeah, so that's the project today. So let's get started. Today on Model Railroading with Bill Masters. Yeah, I feel like I kind of hit the jackpot with these HO scale cars, 1920s to 1930s, period appropriate. They're 3D printed resin, printed in clear resin, so that you get these windows come out clear, and then you just paint around everything else, and then you end up getting about as close as you can get to realistic looking windows with 3D printed resin cars. Now a little bit about what I purchased here. I got about 16 of them here. Let me bring them all into focus. So this is the bunch that I bought. They cost me about $5 a piece, which actually is a pretty good deal. And considering that you really it is just so hard to find period appropriate 1920s, 1930s vehicles online these days. And if you do, usually you're going to pay outrageous prices. So I found this guy on Etsy. Unfortunately, I never could get a response out of him, so I can't really give his name or a link to the vendor because I don't have his permission. So most of these, they're pretty good. Considering, what we got here, such fine detail. It's even got the steering wheel on there. But, for $5, you're going to have to do a little work. If you can see it, you can see it's still got a lot of the braces still on it. And so you're going to have to trim all of that off. On a few of them, they do have some parts broken off. Like here, for example, is a broken fender. I should be able to super glue that. It's also got this piece chipped off the end. So what I've been doing, I've kind of been using something called fiber paste, golden fiber paste. And I've just been putting it on there, and it's just kind of been acting like Bondo. It's going to be painted, so yeah, I mean, it's better than a missing piece. So we'll see how that comes out when I paint it. I've done 3D printing, so I know, what's involved with cleaning them up. And he did a pretty good job. And yeah, I expect to do a little work when I get them. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I'm just going through them and cleaning them up. I've cleaned this one up. This one, I did a little bit of Bondo work on the, I'm going to call it Bondo work, on the fender here. This one was actually pretty good. I didn't really have to do much to it. I just had to remove a lot of the bracing. That was it. It was in pretty good condition, which is great because this is one that I really was looking forward to getting. And yeah, trucks like these are ones that I was really excited to get. And I can just doing a quick once over. I can see that it's in great condition. There's no problems with it. Tonight I'm going to do some airbrushing too. After I get these all cleaned up. Let's see. I'll pick one and do some cleanup on it on camera, and then I'll airbrush it, and we'll just do that piece from start to finish. I think the car that I'm going to focus on, this is actually a little pickup truck in this video, is this one. So I'm going to start by removing all of the bracing that's left on it. He took care of most of them. Right underneath the fenders, it's got some bracing between the fenders and the wheels. So I'm going to cut those out. Being very careful because these are fragile pieces. These are not toys. These are meant to go on your layout and not be moved around a lot. So you want to handle these with care. all the time. Alright, so I got the bracing removed. I'm just gonna, got some nubs on the wheels that I'm gonna try to remove. On this one I wanna not try to hold it by these sides of the truck bed because that is extremely thin. And yeah, I got a piece here too that's this is interesting. It's kind of stuck to the wheel. I'm gonna be able to save that. Let's see here. Let me get these pieces off and then I'll come back to that part. What I was trying to show off is this piece right here. It's just kind of hanging. Yeah, and it just came out completely. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to save that, but let's try. I got some super glue here. This might be kind of futile. Yeah, maybe not. If I can just leave that and not fuss with it too much, hopefully it'll stay. Okay, now one thing is this bed here. The tailgate is wanting to sag inward. I have no idea how I would fix that except to maybe put a load in the bed of the truck. Alright, you're gonna get to see the Bondo action here. Gold fiber paste. Just put a little bit on the tip of my skewer here. More than I need. And you see that's already shaping it out really well. Okay, that is good. I'm gonna leave that. I'm not gonna smooth it out yet. I'm not really sure I will be able to smooth it out, but okay. So now everything else is about as cleaned up as I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna try to put something on this tailgate here. A load of some sort in there will press up against it and hold it out. I think I'm gonna take some of these coffee stir sticks, always my favorite standby material, and I'm gonna make some lumber. Alright, the two top pieces of the lumber, I'm gonna kind of score it and give it an appearance of multiple boards. Alright, this has had a little time to dry. This Bondo right here. So I don't need to do much. Smoothed it out a little bit. I think what I can do here, now I've got these Model T rims and tires that I made myself. And no, sorry, these are not available to buy. For starters, I might be able to put that piece in there. And what I'm thinking is I'll cut all of these wheels off and replace them with my own. I think it'll look better. Okay, I'm gonna call it for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and snip off these wheels and put on my own. So the way I'm gonna go about this, I'm not gonna snip it here because that would cut too much of the axle off. So I'm gonna, there's no turning back once I do this. Yeah, here we go. It's done. All right. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and mask off all of the pieces that I don't want to get paint on. That's going to be this windshield on both sides, and these two headlights. I think everything else can be painted. Let's see here. Yeah, so I'll just cover that windshield and the headlights. That'll go good right there. And then I'll just take time to paint. I'm using this black Vallejo primer. I've got it mixed with 70% IPA, and that's about a 50-50% mixture. Alright, I'm going to finish letting that dry, and then I'll come back. Alright, now I'm going to mix in a little bit of oak brown. It's just a tad bit of IPA. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. For the tires, I'm using burnt sienna for the wheel spokes, and then I'm going out with the outside and using just a rubber, black rubber. Now, while I've got the burnt sienna on my brush, I'm going to go ahead and paint the load here. Burnt umber for the little railings on the bed of the truck here. I also got this little toolbox here. I think for the seats, I'm gonna go with this army green here, and then I'll tone it down, darken it a bit. Now all the places that are supposed to be metal, I'm going to hit with this gunmetal. Okay, now what I like to do at this point is I like to take my fan brush and a little bit of rust streaks, AK rust streaks, just very slightly. I can add more later if I'm digging it. Dirty it up, because my town is a town without any paved roads, and we can't have clean cars in a town without paved roads. And plus, doing this tends to tone down the metals. Okay. The wheels are a little bit, the rubber's kind of shiny, unfortunately. I'll have to tone that down. All I had for rubber colored paint was testers. No, that was gloss. So I think this is toning it down a little bit. Yeah, it's toning it down pretty well. There it is from the top. Alright, there it is from the back. And that side. Yeah, so I think I'm happy. Let me see, hang on just a moment. There is your before and after. As you saw, did a few mistakes in this paint job. And I think it all came out at the end. So I'm going to go throw this on the layout and get some pictures. I think I'm done. Alright, well, there it is. The finished paint job. On the layout. So, yeah, I got about 14 more to paint. Wish I could do a video of every one, but yeah, I might do another video of a delivery truck maybe. Yeah, gotta move on to other things. All right, well, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and post this, and well, you have a good morning, and I will see you next week. Have a good day.